Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, so I thought I'd do a little flip of my Hobonichi Weeks and where I'm up to for this year. It'll probably be kind of my last flip through of this year, and then I might do one at some point next year of like the whole year, but there's not that many weeks left and I may not stay in here until the end of the year anyway, so I figured it would be a good time to just kind of have a flip through, see how I've been using it for the year, and yeah, have a little bit of a chat really. I don't really do a huge amount of decorating, as you can probably see. I keep this very simple. I have a pocket full of things that I might want to have. This year I've used it for the colour coding on my monthly, which you will see when we kind of get to those pages, and then I just have one sticker from Sterling Ink and I use this for any kind of spare tabs. I love Cocoa Fusion tabs in all of my planners, and one of the great things about them is they are reusable, so if I'm using one to kind of mark off a page and then no longer need it, I will just stick it in the front so I can reuse it at a later date. That is the, one of my favourite things about these. I have probably one of the same packs I've had kind of when I originally bought them many years ago, because I don't go through that many because they're so easy to reuse. Moving on to the yearly overview page, and I've not used this a huge amount. This is for period tracking basically, and a few health bits. This is a sticker kit from my shop that I just customized with a background like digital paper just to make it match the Moomin cover, which I ordered online because you can't get this directly from Hobonichi. It's an exclusive, so you have to basically get it from a reseller. I forgot to mention that at the start. And yeah, that's that page. And this, kind of continuing on the health theme, this is my exercise and kind of weight and kind of general health and fitness tracking. So how I do these pages is, if I do any exercise, I write it in the box. If I hit my calorie goal for the day, I colour it in green. And along here, I write down my weight if it's less than the previous weight. So you'll see that for several months there is no weight in the top, and that's because I was not actively losing weight or trying to lose weight. And then you can see here, I got back into it and did quite a good job. And I went on holiday here, which is why there's basically a glut of no exercise for 6 weeks, but I'm back on it as of effectively Halloween. So yeah, so this is kind of, how I've done it this week. This summer, as you can see, wasn't great for me, but from an exercise perspective, I was pretty consistent for most of the year. So this is quite a satisfying spread to look back on, and this will be the one thing that I might continue for the full year, even if I don't necessarily use all the weekly pages and move out of that a little bit early. And then my monthlies are just pretty standard monthlies. The colour coding that I mentioned at the start, what I do here. So I use the Hobonichi pen for the monthlies, and just generally use the black ink and then use the mild liners. So these are all mild liners to do the colour coding. As you can see across the year, it's kind of gone up and down in terms of the decoration that I've used. So these were the months that I was still subscribed to Sterling Ink, so I was using the monthly stickers, and then as I cancelled that, I was kind of using up remnants of stickers, but then kind of paring back the decoration. This was the month, these 2 months were when I was in my bullet journal, so I didn't really use these monthly pages. So everything you see in here was kind of pre-planning that I'd done prior to moving into the bullet journal, and then I moved back in here from October basically. So I've got a few bits kind of planned in for the rest of the year, and then it's basically straight into my weekly pages, which again I started in kind of, I do generally like to move into planners kind of Christmas week so I can start the year afresh. And so once again, you can see where I was subscribed to Sterling Ink and using those stickers. The layouts that I've used across the year, they've changed and tweaked slightly, but they've always generally kind of settled quite nicely on a good mix of pre-planning and a little bit of kind of, I wouldn't call it journaling, but kind of highlight of the day, or just a little bit of an overview of what I did. Some weeks I experimented with kind of running to-do lists this way and kind of just having that for events. Habit trackers sometimes have gone in, sometimes they've gone in the monthly pages, but it's never been too radical in terms of how I've set up the weeks. I've not done anything aside from the week that I went back to vertical planning just to kind of remind myself what it was like. I've kind of stayed pretty true to a format. If you've seen any of my videos specifically talking about the weeks before, you'll know that it took me a while to really kind of find my groove with this planner and work out kind of the best way for me to plan in this. This was the time that I was actually bullet journaling in it. I was kind of planning out my week here and then using this as dailies, and this is kind of what inspired me to try One Book July and actually kind of go all in on bullet journaling. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, the weeks I've kind of, this was during One Book July, the weeks I've kind of, yeah, it took me a good few years to really find out how best to use this planner and how best to plan in it. And so this year's probably the first year that I've really fully enjoyed planning in it and feel like I've got the most out of it. This is when I was in Australia. And yeah, it's probably paid dividends in terms of, you know, being able to flick back through and see a really kind of full, consistent planner, more so than any other weeks. And if you saw my video from a few weeks ago where I was flicking through every single weeks that I've used, you'll see kind of, you know, how a lot of years there was a lot of empty pages or just a lot of kind of experiments and things like that. Whereas this year it's been, yeah, pretty good in terms of, yeah, consistent layouts, pretty productive. All my tasks and events pretty much in there, and then just kind of a bit of dabbling on journaling or habit tracking or things like that. And then this is just into my notes pages, which are very much kind of used as scratch pages. Odd notes, trying out stickers, to-do lists, things like that. It's, aside from my finance pages, which I'm not going to show because they've literally got all of my finance details on there, I don't use these note pages for anything specific really. They are just kind of notes as and when. Some of the collections that were in my bullet journal I moved over into here because I found them quite handy, but beyond that it's literally just, yeah, notes here and there, and then there's a few extra pages to see me through to the end of the year. And then at the back I just have the page marker that came with this planner, which I love, and a spare sticker sheet for whenever I want to do sticker planning again, and then just a few stickers that I use for my budget planning. And that's it in terms of the weeks. I mentioned my Hobonichi pen. The other pen that I also use in here is the Platinum Preppy. I absolutely adore this pen. It's just the Platinum ink cartridge that's in there. Great ink. As long as you're using blotting paper, it's pretty good at not smudging. I just have to keep my hands away from it if I have like put hand moisturizer on. I've discovered that that's kind of the thing that always made my pages smear. But yeah, great pen for the weeks. This is the 02 and it's a good size. It's kind of not too thick for the pages, because I do find that because the grid is smaller on the weeks, you do kind of have to be careful with what kind of nib size you use. This is perfect. And yeah, that's been my weeks for 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.